DAP1 sits on blockchain A, and it does everything on blockchain A. DAP2 sits on blockchain 2 and does everything on blockchain 2. So you can't allow these applications to transfer data and transfer value very easily. It's a problem, and that's what we're solving. So with multi-chain apps, you can actually split your app up, and you can say, well, I want my app to use a bit of Ripple for authentication. I want it to use a bit of Bitcoin for, let's just say, storage of data, and I want it to use Hyperledger because of scalability for resilience. You can actually have that choice with multi-chain applications. You have the flexibility. And as an enterprise, working at HSBC in my career, you have resilience. So if I want to have multiple data sets, multiple applications across different chains, I've got resilience, and we give you that choice. So the benefit is you can live on and run on multiple chains. You're never limited to a single technology. So if I have a problem with one blockchain just because of a security issue or a scalability issue, right now you're limited, you're stuck. But with having multi-chain applications, you can migrate. You're never limited to IBM. You're never limited to Ethereum. You can manage the cost, because if the fees go up, then running an application might have cost you £1 million a year, and if the fees go up, it's going to cost you 100 million, as an example, and you can't afford that. And finally, what we're doing is creating something called treaty contracts with Hamburg University. This is the multi-chain version of smart contracts. So you can execute a smart contract on one chain and move it on to another and recognize it vice versa. So again, a unique innovation. So how are we going to do this? Well, firstly, we're doing that interoperability, which I've mentioned, without an additional blockchain. We're creating an ecosystem so people can build apps. It's all open source. It's all out there, going to be on GitHub, as mentioned previously. Then we're looking to connect the internet directly to all the blockchains, because you can't do that today either. How can you send a TCP/IP connection from the internet to blockchain? It can't be done. So we want to bridge those two mega networks. And finally, what we're looking to do is to create blockchain IPs, which we're calling Quant IP, to be able to do that internet connection, to create that internet of trust. And that's the next generation internet. And we will create applications like a browser or email or messaging, which are decentralized but hyper decentralized.
What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all so much for tapping back in to see what I have to say. And with that being said, what are we talking about? We're talking about Quant Network in this one, okay, you guys? But before we get too deep, I want to thank each and every single one of you. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank y'all for commenting. I truly do appreciate each and every single one of you, okay? But Quant Network, to my QNT fam out there, okay? I thank y'all for real, because y'all rock with me. Y'all truly do. You are understanding this historic shift in time that's happening right now. And you guys truly see that we are getting ready to watch the onboarding of a technology globally. The mass adoption of DLT is getting ready to be historic, because most people in the world will be using it and have no clue what is running the infrastructure of their new digital money. Follow me on this, okay? But I want to bring y'all this video, okay? I saw this incredible AI video, and it was breaking down Quant Network. And I feel like y'all are my QNT fam, right? So when I see something of value, I want to share it with my family out there so they can also enjoy in just seeing how other things actually view the asset that you hold. Okay, you guys, follow me on this. And I'm actually toying with something else as well. I'm toying with the idea of starting to go live more. So if you think I should go live, y'all type in "go live" in the comments, okay? But back to this video that I want to share with you guys, okay? Follow me on this. You know I'm always going somewhere. Quant is the opportunity of a lifetime, y'all. I will be right back.
QNT is the connector, the operating system layer that makes everything else work together. And what just happened around Quant in the last 60 days represents the most significant concentration of central bank validation any crypto infrastructure project has ever received in a comparable timeframe. Start with the Bank of England. Quant is participating in the Bank of England's Synchronization Lab, part of its RTGS Future Roadmap. The test, which began in February 2026, simulates atomic settlement for multi-bank treasury operations using Quant's automation platforms, Quant Flow, and PayScript. This is a lab environment specifically designed to reduce operational risk in corporate payments inside the UK's real-time gross settlement system. The Bank of England is not testing QNT as a speculative asset. It is testing Overledger as operational infrastructure for the settlement system that underpins the entire UK banking economy. Then the Bank of Japan. Quant partnered with Japanese firm Dentsu Soken to provide Overledger technology to support the Bank of Japan's blockchain experiments for settling tokenized deposits, part of the BIS's Project Agora. The focus is specifically on ensuring compatibility with Japan's existing real-time gross settlement system, BOJNet. Two of the world's most significant central banks, the Bank of England and the Bank of Japan, are now using Overledger in live testing environments for their settlement infrastructure in the same quarter. And there is more. Quant is delivering the programmable money infrastructure for the UK's tokenized sterling deposits project, known as GBTD, building on its successful first-phase delivery of the regulated liability network in 2024. The GBTD platform is being built to full compliance with ISO 20022 international standards and involves Barclays, HSBC, Lloyds, and NatWest as participating institutions. These are not pilot interest letters. These are production infrastructure builds with 4 of the largest banks in the United Kingdom running until mid-2026. Additionally, Quant has ongoing collaborations with the European Central Bank. Here is what makes QNT structurally different from every other asset in this conversation and why the advanced holder understands its value proposition in a way retail never will. QNT is not a blockchain trying to replace other blockchains. Overledger is an API gateway that connects over 45 public and private blockchains simultaneously, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, and emerging CBDC networks, without the security risks of bridges or wrapped assets. Every enterprise or bank using Overledger must license the platform by locking QNT tokens for 12 months. That locking mechanism creates a direct, mechanical relationship between institutional adoption volume and token supply compression. The more institutions that deploy Overledger for CBDC infrastructure, cross-border settlement, and tokenized asset management, the more QNT gets locked out of circulation. The total supply of QNT is fixed at 14.88 million tokens. Fully circulating. No inflation. No vesting schedule dumping supply onto the market. The supply dynamics are the opposite of most crypto assets. As institutional usage grows, circulating supply shrinks. The Overledger Fusion mainnet launch is rolling out in phases in 2026, offering a Layer 2.5 solution that helps banks and businesses connect blockchains with significantly reduced complexity. QNT staking activation is expected by mid-2026, which will reduce circulating supply further while incentivizing the node operators that make the network function. And the QuantNet initiative is expanding through 2026 and 2027 to support secure settlement for banks, CBDCs, and existing financial systems at production scale. Quant already has over 1,000 enterprise clients. It has powered Project Rosalind with the BIS. It has delivered for the regulated liability network. It is embedded in the UK's most important banking infrastructure project of the decade. And most retail crypto participants have never heard of any of it. Quant provides the interoperability layer that connects all of them to each other and to every legacy banking system simultaneously, locked into the settlement infrastructure of the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan, and the ECB in the same quarter.
Now see, tell me that was not incredibly informational. And tell me it can't potentially help you explain what Quant has going on to someone in your life that may not quite understand DLT in its entirety. Y'all, please know what you hold when you hold QNT. You hold a piece of global financial infrastructure. We've already tied Quant Network back to so many different entities, and catch my next few videos because it's about to get really good. Everything that I've been saying about things like the DTCC, we got ties back to it. Certain networks that is now being mentioned, follow what I'm telling you guys. This time in Web3 and the onboarding of this technology and knowing the standardized pathway to assess it regulatory compliantly, to know what that is, which is Quant Network's Overledger,
Overledger platform from Quant establishes a new benchmark for blockchain interoperability and ease of use. As a low-code enterprise-grade platform, Overledger empowers you to deploy, connect, and develop on any blockchain quickly and simply. With Overledger, you can generate an interoperable digital asset with just a few clicks, create secure smart contracts that can execute on any blockchain without having to hire a team of experts. And you can use its advanced APIs to integrate with your systems and manage your assets on multiple chains. We believe that the blockchain economy should be simple, trusted, and future-proof. These are our principles and the genesis of Overledger Platform, the enterprise standard for building on blockchain.
Quant Network Software as a Service, the thing that utilizes QNT, the thing that you hold inside of your wallet. If you hold QNT inside, whether it's on an exchange, whether it's in your digital wallet, whether it's in a hot wallet, however you hold it, if you're a part of the QNT fam, know that you are different. Know that you do not operate in the realm of the tribalism of Web3, because literally you are the thing that will make all of those other projects be successful. So you almost sit in such a impartial place, because it only benefits you if you're a QNT holder and you truly understand the vision of Web3 for other projects in the space to be successful. Because as more and more of those projects become successful, like XRP and XLM and XDC and IOTA and Jasmine and VChain and ZBack and Canton, follow me on what I'm telling you, okay, you guys? That only makes you even more successful, because you are the gateway. You are the connector of the connectors. You are the interoperability layer of the internet. You truly are the finternet. You guys truly, truly know what you hold when you hold a piece of QNT. You hold a piece of critical, global, financial infrastructure. Okay, I won't hold y'all too much longer. I just want to show y'all this little quick boom boom bam bam video, and I just want to show you guys that because I thought that was very informational and I thought it was cool. So I want to share it with y'all, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. If you made it all the way through this entire video, type in QNT fam. That way I know y'all are out there rocking with your boy and truly understanding what Quant Network's vision is and the thing that powers that vision, which is Quant Network's token QNT. Till the next time, y'all already know. I appreciate you. I truly do. Peace out.